And what is up, guys? Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Beto on Base Live. This edition, the fourth edition or fifth edition. I don't even remember at this point, but we are live. And usually, as I mentioned on my X, usually we're live on Mondays. Today, we had to improvise a little bit. Yesterday had some work commitments that had to take care of, and obviously doing it today, but obviously almost postponed just because of a lot of things going on in personal life, and which I will not share so that I don't bore you guys. But it's always nice just to come up here and stream, whether we get a bunch of people or not. For me, it's about still engaging with you guys, engaging with my small community, and then obviously just trying to make sense of what's been going on. And wow, what's been going on over the last 3 to 4 days in the market has been pretty spectacular, to say the least. And when I say spectacular, it's just the level of craziness and the level of panic and selling and everything going on. And look, I've been keeping track. Obviously, the weekend I was pretty preoccupied. I was busy with in real life stuff, disconnected a little bit from the charts and from crypto Twitter or X, and then also disconnected from YouTube and so on and so forth. So I wasn't really paying a lot of attention, but I could definitely feel from the little moments that I spent looking at kind of what was going on, just the bloodbath that was going on, that's been going on for a while now. So it looks like we're kind of catching a little bit of relief right now from what I can tell. But look, I've been looking at the charts for a little bit today and after work, and it's been completely insane. So what I want to do tonight is just improvise and really just here for you guys, and hopefully you guys get to see this later on, or if you're on right now, I appreciate you. I'm just here really to continue this series of live streams, and eventually they'll get better. I got plans for improving these streams eventually, but I just wanted to get on air and wanted to start streaming for you guys. Just about a month ago I did, and I really appreciate the support and you guys watching either live or watching eventually at your leisure, right? Whenever you can. And I want to say hello to Christine Joy. She's always hanging out and saying hello. Christine, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by and thanks for joining. But as I was saying, these streams are going to continue to go on Mondays or Tuesdays. I'll figure it out. Have to juggle my daily activities, work, responsibilities with these streams, but I want to continue doing them, and that's why I'm here on a Tuesday, just to really to come up here and to come out here and really just try to make sense of the market and see how things are going, and really just provide maybe some words so you can reflect on kind of what's going on, some words of encouragement, because definitely right now the market is not really easy. So again, what I want to do today or tonight is go through a couple of just charts to kind of see what's been going on recently, take a look at the base chain, kind of see where we are. And then I do want to look at some projects just to give you perspective as to how deep this retracement has been, but also just give you some perspective as to, kind of where we are and where we're going. Again, just try to make sense of this market and the craziness that's been going on. Look, I'm going to give you my 2 cents in terms of just my opinion of what I'm seeing. I think that I'm looking at the activity within crypto, and I think a lot of people are turned off and are gone. To be honest, I think most people have, or not most people, a lot of people are out. They're all the casual crypto investors are out at this point. At least that's what I see. And who's left right now are the hardcore, the diehard crypto investors, but also maybe more interestingly enough, it's the investors that are more mature. And I don't mean it in a derogatory way for anybody that's left. But I think that if you are here and just weathering the storm, whether it's going to be short-lived or whether it's going to be multiple months, maybe quarters or a year, if you're here just weathering the storm, it's because you understand that this is the market, right? It's not always going to be green. It's not always going to be big green candles and euphoria and fun and gains and all that stuff. Eventually, there's going to be days like today and weeks like today or weekends like the weekend that we had. and just days as or periods of time, just like what we're going through right now. So in essence, basically, that's why I'm here. I really don't have a big plan or a big schedule or big rundown in terms of items that I want to talk to you about tonight. I just want to go over just some things to show you kind of what's going on and give you my perspective. Hopefully, it gives you maybe some peace of mind if you're worried, if you're stressed out about the market and all that stuff. That's why we're here for, and that's why I'm here for. I honestly, and look, this is one of the reasons why I created this channel. Initially, I just created it to shill, the projects that I had. At this point, I do talk about the projects that I have and some that I don't. But I really just created this channel and this, my, social that's dedicated to crypto, to really engage with a community of new and, middle experienced investors and maybe some experienced investors, to share knowledge, to really learn from each other, and to make sure that we're finding ways of just being successful in what is a very challenging and very difficult environment. So hopefully you're here. Hopefully you're watching. I thank you. Leave a comment below just to let me know that you are, hanging out or present. I would really, really appreciate it. And let's get to it. Let's get to some of the things that I wanted to chat about. And let me just tell you, the funny thing is that how I usually prepare, or part of my preparation for this stream is to ask AI or Grok about, hey, what are the top stories in crypto at the moment? And so what happens is that AI will spit out 5 or 10 stories, however many it is. And then I go through them, I pick and choose, and I go through the more important ones and so on and so forth. And I did that today, and all the stories were about just, the bloodbath and, everything that's going on in crypto. And I said, you know what, screw it. I'm not even going to, set up, multiple stories. I'm just going to talk about the main story, which is, kind of what it is. Dude, and look, let me tell you something. The craziness, and sorry for the multiple screens, the craziness is that this craziness in the market, it's going on externally, right? In government, in the world, the financial kind of situation in the world is just crazy right now. Also the United States situation, we avoided narrowly, I believe we avoided a shutdown, so I think that's good, or a continued shutdown, or there's so much stuff going on, and you can get into that and read about that. But I think it's all reflective, and it reflects even more in the assets that we hold in terms of crypto, right? It's just it's the most sensitive market where it's just any little change or any little uncertainty in the macros, it just creates a wicked movement in the market. So at the same time, you can have somebody like, Elon Musk say Doge one time, and, meme coins skyrocket. So, that's the volatility is part of this market. And I think that's what's interesting to me and to a lot of folks. And you can't have it both ways, right? You can't, be here wanting the big boosts and the big, green days and the crazy gains without the crazy losses as well. That's why we're here, so it's almost like a pendulum, right? Everything's cyclical. Some things go up, some things go down, and so on and so forth. But you can't have it both ways. You can't, just want it green every day. And so anyway, just what I'm trying to get to is that, everything that's going on externally, it's also reflected within the market. And I think that's just, part of how things work. But anyway, taking a look at the numbers from what's going on at this current moment, at time of recording the video, or at the time of streaming, the current crypto market cap is at $2.56 trillion. I'm going to click real quick, so you might see some changing screens. But, we've lost a ton. We had a 3.13 back on the 18th of this month. Let me see what the high for this year was. We had a $3.3 trillion market cap, and now we're down to 2.58. And look, that looks like it's going to continue to go down. I wouldn't expect any big recovery yet. I think the bottom, just from what I see, we're still in a downward spiral, and I think things are going to get worse before they get better. And that's not me being, negative or pessimistic. I think it's just the way it is. I would have something amazing would have to happen to really shift the whole market and change things. That could happen in crypto, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. We need to see. We still yet, I think, to see the bottom. So that's kind of what's going on in terms of just the total crypto market cap. 169 billion in volume over the last 30 days. Alt season, kind of that's maybe like the silver lining is that the alt season index is going up a little bit. It's been in the orange. So if you see it on your left side of your screen, it's been in the orange for so long, around 12, between 10 and 20 points out of 100. And now it's creeping up. It's at 32, likely because Bitcoin has been just losing so much. But really, I don't think anybody's rotating their Bitcoin or BTC, whatever they're selling, to altcoins, at least yet. And then I don't, because I don't know if I would do it, right? I don't know if I would sell my Bitcoin at this moment to rotate to altcoins. That would, to me, that'd be super risky because I don't see any movement in the positive direction for altcoins at this moment. Everything that I see has been also been pulled back with the general market. The fear and greed index, it's at 14, so it had climbed up a little bit, and now it's back down in the teens. That obviously gives you a great idea as to where we are, and then you just got to look at the charts and got to look at all the red and just the graphs and how everything is just spiraling down, which makes sense that that's where we are. Let's take a look at some of the numbers on the other in this screen where we have all the major players. Bitcoin is down 14% in the last 7 days in the last week. That's insane. Considering where it was, we were at 90 something thousand, and now it's at 76. I think we had hit 74,000 earlier today. Ethereum is at $2,267. Ethereum has lost a quarter of its value in the last 7 days, about 25% down. Look, I'm just going to go through the numbers. I know this is it's crazy, but I guess I want to, make a point. And then also, everything else has been, dipping. Everything else has been dipping. Very few projects are, keeping, are staying above water, I should say. Solana lost 21%, and so on and so forth. Let's take a quick look at Bitcoin just to kind of review kind of where we are. I definitely believe Bitcoin still is going to go further down. I'm not going to go do any analysis here for you, but just from my perspective and the way things are looking, I expect Bitcoin. Look at already, and look, I will draw a couple of lines for you. At this point, maybe this was like the level that we were looking at. It looks like it broke below it. Looks like it's climbing above it. But I think if it breaks this, I think this is what everybody's looking at. But it already looks like it already broke below, and then it's trying to recover. See, there's a couple of touch points there. It broke below with this big wick all the way to 72,700, and then it pumped up, and now it's teetering around 76, right? And that's like a candle that doesn't know where to go yet. So we'll see what it does in the next 12 to 12 hours. This is the 24-hour chart, so this is the daily chart. Let me look at the 4-hour chart. Yeah, it broke down a couple of times. So anyway, this looks like, to me, it's hard for me to say, but I because I haven't really done any TA, and I'm not the biggest expert, but to me, this looks like it's going to continue to go, down this way. If you, just looking at the graph, just visually looking at this, common sense, what's going to tell you that it's likely that's what's going to do. That's what Bitcoin's going to do. There's other people that do fancier TA. Obviously, I'm not, the greatest, but at least that's what I'm seeing, and I think that's what's going to continue to happen. I don't know how far we're going to go. I think we might even hit like the 50s, eventually, and you just got to be prepared for it. Unfortunately, just got to be prepared for it. Prepare for the worst. What's the saying? Prepare for the worst and expect the worst. Prepare for. I have no idea how that goes, but anyway, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, that's Bitcoin. So that's the one that we're looking at, because obviously where Bitcoin goes, everything goes. So let's take a look at the chains, how they're doing. Ethereum is the one that's doing the best in terms of total value locked, still 18% down though. And Base is holding steady at 5th place within the the major ecosystems. Solana is number 2 as always. It's pretty big in terms of what's going on, but Tron still 6th, and Base still holding steady at 5th spot in terms of the chains and how they're doing in terms of total value locked. The last 24 hours for Base have been fairly decent. What is it? 1.6 bill in volume over the last 24 hours. So a lot of volume for Base, which is interesting. And I'll show you the flow. Let me see if I'm going to take a look. So you might see a crazy screen. So I'm still trying to figure out, kind of how to do this. So I'll move this for you here. So if you, on top of my head on this screen, you'll see the Artemis top net flows chart. It's a little bit small, but in terms of inflow, net flow, this is net flows. I can do the inflows, but anyway, just in terms of net flows, Base has been the biggest one. It's 305 mil net flow, right? There's been 1.9 billion in inflow over the last 3 months, and then 1.5 billion in outflow, so about 300 mil net flow. And then if we lower the range to 1 month, Base is still kind of the champ right now at 140 mil, and that's super slow. I remember seeing Base with hundreds of millions of net flow just last year, actually 2024. So it's interesting to see just how low this has gotten in many ways, but it's still Base. There's still a lot of activity. In the last 7 days, Arbitrum has been king of the hill, but Base is right below with $111 million. So there's still a lot of activity, excuse me, on Base, and I think that's if you've been paying attention, I saw like all the hype around the AI projects that have been, or AI agents and projects that have been launched. I think it's the crab one or the lobster one. I'm not, I don't follow the hype. I know maybe I'm missing out on some trades, but when I see that, I feel like I'm already too late, right? So I've just been following a little bit because I know that's going to die down and it's going to go away, like many of the narratives that just pop up on hype and on on a whim. But I definitely think that has to do with Base being on the top net flows in the last 7 days. Solana is way down, and usually Solana is at the top of this chart almost regularly, at least for a while it was. Sui as well for a while, I remember, but now it's just Base, Arbitrum, Injective. Have no idea about that chain. A couple more there, OP Mainnet, and then Polygon. Polygon is there. Polygon's always kind of present, which is interesting. But this just shows you that there's opportunities there for the Base chain. And look, if the Base chain is doing this well during this type of market, at least in terms of the net flows and liquidity coming in and out, and just being higher than most other that most chains really, that's to me that's like an interesting win, right? If your projects, or if you're focused on projects that are on Base, if that's the chain that's top dog, the last 3 months and the last month and the last 7 days is number 2 during the market where there's so much outflow, so much money being pulled out, then to me that's a win for Base projects. I know that doesn't look so like that in the chart. To me, that's confirmation that eventually when all the liquidity starts coming back, and maybe that's in, I don't know, 6 months or a year or 2 years, however long it takes for liquidity to start coming back, then this might be a great sign that if we're at the top during those times, you're going to see a lot of prices go insanely bonkers, because that means that a lot of liquidity is coming into the base ecosystem. And, I talked about it maybe in another live stream. I think I remember saying this. Right now is the best time to build, to be ready for when all that liquidity starts flowing back, because eventually it will. Nothing is certain, of course. Nothing is, there's no certainty in anything, especially in crypto and the market. But, things are cyclical, and their cycles, just like, Bitcoin will go up again, go down. But now, we just can't expect the 4-year cycle anymore. We have to just kind of figure out things. It might be like a 2-year cycle. That would be fun, right? Because then you have just 2 years to plan, or it just depends. It might be 6 years, which would suck. But if you're not ready to wait until, the true peak of a cycle, at least for altcoins, that's assuming that there will be a peak at another, altcoin season, because that's also not a certainty. And if you're not willing to wait, then, why are you here, right? Either you're just trading. I am more of a long-term investor. I am definitely thinking about learning more about, day trading and that side of the whole practice. But for now, I'm looking at things long term, and that's because I feel like it's safer for me, because I don't have that much time to be looking at charts, and because I have a job and I have a life, right? And so anyway, that's why I'm here. So if you're thinking about it long term, and you're not ready to wait, then that's a problem, right? Because that's why a lot of people quit. And I got a video coming soon about some of the reasons why folks will quit crypto too early. And that's one of them, right? Because you don't know what you really want. But I can get into that some other time. By the way, let me plug for you one of the videos that I created recently that it's doing fairly well, and it's a video that I put up last weekend, over the weekend, titled let's see what it's titled. Well, the screen says the biggest mistake, and it's about the biggest mistake that new and middle of the road investors make in not only in crypto, but I think it probably works also for stocks. And that is, well, I'm not going to tell you what it is. You can go check it out. But it's one of the biggest mistakes that I made, but also that other investors make when they're new in the market, because nobody here is teaching you about this stuff. And that's why I'm creating these videos, to just share my experiences so that somebody else might gain knowledge from them and not fall into that trap. But anyway, if you have a chance, bookmark this. It's pinned on my X account. Go and check it out. I really, really appreciate it. And leave a comment below. Let me know if you've committed that mistake, or if you, have any ideas for other folks and on how to avoid that mistake, because it's a pretty big one, and it could cost you a lot. But anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. Go and check it out. I appreciate that support as well. By the way, we do have an ongoing crypto giveaway, so check it out as well. Go on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, there is a YouTube crypto giveaway going on. $30 for 300 subscribers. We reached that threshold over the weekend. Amazing, you guys. I appreciate you guys subscribing and supporting this channel. That's been it's meant the world to me. Just I never even imagined that this would happen. I joke because some months ago, maybe last December or November, I was saying I would never want to be a YouTuber. I guess I'm becoming one, right? But really, the reason is because I want to share kind of the lessons that I have and the things that I've gone through, so that other people don't go through these, especially as the cycle continues to churn. So, what up, Charles? Oh, sorry that they haven't. I'll check on that if possible. I haven't been in there in the communities for a while, but just wanted to say shout out. Thanks for stopping by, brother. But yeah, so let's take a look at some of the projects. Actually, let's take a look at SHIB on Base and some of the major projects that I usually follow in this channel. They've all taken a crazy hit. Let me take a look at your screen to see what you're looking at so that you can see it. Yeah, looks good. SHIB on Base currently trading at around a $3.6 million market cap. This is a daily chart, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit just to show you kind of what's going on. It looks like the Looks like we're forming on the RSI a double bottom or triple bottom, like a inverted head and shoulders. And that's good because that means likely there's going to be a price reversal soon. Obviously, it depends on the market, but I think all the folks that were speculating on the release of the app have left at this point because it looks like the price is stabilized. And sorry for the multiple lines. Let me actually delete some lines for you so you don't. So this is not such a crazy chart. But anyway, yeah. So look, this is going on right now. This is a channel that I'm looking at right now for SHIB on base. Maybe from this one because it's kind of looks like the bottom of that area, and then kind of this. So until it breaks that section, I wouldn't expect any changes. If you look at that closely, I wouldn't expect any big changes. But then we're at support right now. It looks like we're at the getting close to the 3.5 support. And look, we've been waiting for the Pauline Veterinarian app for now about a month and a half, maybe 2 months. It was close to being released in December, but look, from what I'm getting, we can blame, and I'm going to say it, we can blame Apple for, maybe not blame him, but kind of like their just thoroughness, I guess, in terms of accepting apps. Google has approved the app. It's ready to be launched on Google Play. And now we're just waiting for Apple to approve the app so that it can be released. So once Apple releases or approves the app, then we're ready to go. And then the project continues, right? I think this has just been a holding pattern for the project. The next step is the app being approved. And then, the plan will continue. Whatever the plan is, I'm sure there's marketing involved. I'm sure there's a lot of things that are planned so that the project can continue to move forward. And the cool thing about SHIB on base is that it really doesn't depend on the market. Maybe the success of the price and the potential of the token does depend on the market. But I think that definitely SHIB on base is one of these projects that just continues to build, and that it's building something that has a utility that's not going to be dependent on the market for its success. The SHIB on base Pauline app and this project is going to be dependent on how many people adopt and download and use the app that's now about to be released. If you're not familiar with SHIB on base, I definitely encourage you to do a Google search, or not a Google search, do an X search, or go on their Telegram, or actually just go on my channel, on this channel, and search or look for the SHIB on base videos that I've created over the last 6 to 9 months, and specifically look for the ones that talk about the Pauline Vet app. I did a review of the app, so you can get an idea of what it is. Essentially, it is an app that you can download on your phone, on your Google, on your Android, on your Apple iOS, device, and then the app is running on Eli 5A's AI technology that basically is that gathers exclusively verified scientific sources, reliable sources that help answer questions about your pet or about your animals or about livestock or about any type of animal that you might have. So in essence, what it does is that it's almost like I don't want to say it, but it's like a ChatGPT or Grok, but it's specific to pet care, like veterinarian issues. And the highlight of this app is that it's not going to have hallucinations like ChatGPT does and like Grok does, which hallucinations are basically, when the apps are wrong, right? They commit mistakes. Because they're looking at the whole internet, and the internet's full of crap as well, right? So essentially that's what the app does. So go and check it out and learn if you're watching and if you're new to this. But that's a whole different ballgame when you talk about a project, right? Because this project could be not in crypto and be successful. Now, the connection to crypto is that 30% of those subscriptions and that liquidity or that revenue is going to be injected into the chart. So there's going to be a purchase of tokens in the open market. So every month, let's say that 1,000, depending on the price, let's say that there's, $5,000 of revenue made. That's that 30%. Let's say that's $10,000 of revenue. Then $3,000 gets bought in the open market. That's something that most projects should have at this point. Some sort of revenue stream, and then some sort of connection and injection into the chart, so that people that are holding have an incentive to hold. Also, if you are a holder of SHIB on Base, then you can use the app for free, depending on how many tokens you have. So there's going to be like levels, and then you'll be able to use the app and download and be able to just be part of the ecosystem without having to pay the subscription. So anyway, big commercial for SHIB on Base. I'm really, really bullish on this project. Shout out to Paul, the dev, and shout out to the community. They're always very supportive of the videos. So just wanted to give, a little bit of an overview, because I know it's been a while since I've done like a specific video for SHIB on Base, and there might be one coming soon, especially if the app is released. But just wanted to talk about this project. It's doing fairly well. I don't think we've retraced that much. I mean, yeah, it was at $8 million market cap. In about 3 weeks ago. But that was, I think, a lot of speculation with the possible release of the app. I think that those folks are going to come back. And look, if anything, this big downturn in the market might be a good thing, because it's happening before the app is released, right? If things start turning in the positive way, then the app's going to be even, the project's going to be successful. It's going to draw more interest. But regardless, look, once the app is released and then all those people are out, and then a lot of people in the crypto space start looking at this project, then things are gonna change. Obviously, I always say this is not financial advice. I'm not a fortune teller, and I can't see the future, but I would expect, or I would think, that this will do very, very well. $17,000 in volume over the last 24 hours, so not too shabby for SHIB on Base. Again, 3.6 mil, and over the last 24 hours it did dip 10%. But look, SHIB on Base is explosive. I've seen it move insane amounts of levels up in a day. So we'll see where it goes. I'm going to zoom out. One thing that I like to do also is do the weekly. So this is the weekly, and we've gone down for where we are, but eventually things are going to turn. So anyway, just wanted to show you this right here and do the logarithmic to see where it's at, and we're holding steady. I'm just going to go away from that. All right, let's take a look at one of my favorite projects as well, and I'm going to tell you why, because this is Bitcoin on Base. We're at 2.0, like a $2 million market cap. But look at the 24-hour change, about 0.5%. So doing really, really well. 2% in the last 6 hours. Not a huge change. We have 79 buys, 77 sells, $15,000 in volume. And look at where it's holding. It's holding at levels of 2 mil. And even with all the craziness that has gone in the market, this project continues to be one of the more solid ones on the Base chain. And I obviously have a vested interest in this project, because I am part of this community, and also hold. But I'm going to show you other projects and just show you kind of how they're doing. And man, they're suffering, right? A lot of projects are suffering right now, and I feel for a lot of the builders that are have been working so hard over the last 2, 3, 4 months, and just with 1, 2 sells of people that are just panicking, or they just want to get out, they'll wreck the charts just gets completely wrecked. So at least at this point for Bitcoin on Base, everything is looking really good in terms of holding that 2 mil. And I think it's going to continue to hold. This community has been holding for a long time, right? This community knows what they have. This is a project that every quarter is doing airdrops of Coinbase wrapped Bitcoin. It's mining Bitcoin, and it's dropping it to its holders with 2,400 tokens or more. And then, people know what they have. So let me zoom out for you guys. That's the daily chart again for Bitcoin on Base. When you zoom out, you see the same, pretty good structure. Zoom out a little bit more. There was a huge pump, obviously, when it started. I think it reached over 20 mil. Actually went all the way up to 30 mil. So $30 million market cap, which was pretty insane. And then it kind of settled down at about 2 mil, and that's the base. We're at the bottom right now. So I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice, but if you're looking for a solid project where you can, expect, a solid base, this is it. This is a community takeover, and, nobody can really, rug it, I guess. I mean, I guess it could be rugged with, if everybody coordinated. That's going to be challenging. I shouldn't say never. And again, this is not financial advice. I just want to get that out there. So yeah, $15,000 in volume over the last 24 hours, not bad for the time we're having in the general market. 13 cents. It's a nice, very nice price. I think we were at like 12 cents last couple of days, and it just started moving up again. So anyway, that's Bitcoin base. Let me show you Brett, because man, Brett is at, I never thought I would see Brett under $100 million market cap. Remember when it was over a bill? Let me see. It was a 2 bill actually. 2.3 billion in November 24. 2.3 billion. And geez, pretty insane. Drop. Let me zoom in here for you guys. And I think it's still going to keep going down. So I don't know how far it'll go, because I don't see a lot of support. Yeah, I don't see a lot of support. If you're holding Brett, let me know if you're holding Brett and what you're thinking, because I'd be so out of this. Well, I guess if you're still holding, might as well try to hold until, you reach maybe like a higher, I don't know, maybe like 400 mil or something, depending on where you bought and depending how much you bought. But look, man, geez, it's really lost most of its value. It's probably, it reached $2.3 billion, and it's at 90, right? So it's like less than 5%. So it lost 95% or more of the all-time high, and that's just ruthless, right? Ruthless. And I have many opinions about Brett, but mostly about the people that pushed it so hard with crazy promises. And it's just getting everybody, or got everybody wrecked. But look at this. Look this. Like this trend line, it even went worse. Let me see if I can do this. Jeez, there's so many crazy. Yeah, so many angles to this, but yeah, to me, that's going to continue to go down, unfortunately. And I guess the bottom would, I don't know, 17 mil? Like 8 mil is the bottom. Look, let me know what you're thinking. If you hold Brett right now, because I held Brett before, I had Brett. But I really just, you guys know my strategy in the past has been to, rotate to bigger upside, or projects with a bigger upside. Not that Brett can't make that up, but geez, man, look at that. That's insane. Let's take a look at SPX 600. Is it SPX 6900, which is that one that Murad pumped. And again, that's another one. I think it's at look, if it breaks this level, it's going to be interesting to see where this one goes. But SPX 6900 is at 289 mil right now. 289. Wow, 26K in volume. I remember when SPX or SPX, whatever it is, SPX 6900 had the volume it had. Am I looking at the right one? I should be. Yeah, I'm looking at the right one. When SPX 6900 was, this is the aerodrome pool. Maybe that's why. Let me take a look at SPX. SPX 6900. Let's see. There's so many. Liquidity. Yeah, man, I believe this is the right one. 289 mil market cap. Yeah, this is the one. This is the ETH one. Yeah, 290 mil market cap. And yeah, it's at the, look at this level. Like we're gonna see. I'll keep an eye on it for you guys, just to I mean, already broke below this level of support. Um, Geez, I don't know where it's going really. I mean, probably like lower, right? And I think I saw Freeman, Finance Freeman, posted or had Murad stats earlier today in a stream, and I saw just a clip. I haven't been on X that much, but I think he's down like 5 mil in his investment. Here, and I'm worrying about 15% of my portfolio, which is insane. But anyway, I'm just showing you this stuff to kind of just show you the things that are happening in the rest, and maybe it's not so bad for us, right? Maybe not so bad for some of the projects that we have, and essentially just wanted to show you that stuff and just have a conversation, like nothing scripted today. Basically just wanted to come here and kind of regroup and show you, give you my opinion, my perspective as to what's going on, my perspective as to what's happening in the market. And obviously it's very easy to see that everything's kind of tumbling right now, and just the things of what are going on externally to the market, internally in the market. Maybe this is the final, like a really good cleansing of the market, which I doubt. I'm an optimist, but I doubt that a lot of the things that are wrong with the market are going to get fixed. I think a lot of this is what's happening right now. A lot of it is because of the bad things that are in the market, or the things that are wrong in the market. The manipulation, the lying, the cheating, the corruption, all that stuff. And look, all that stuff is going to happen where there's money. That's one of the things that I've learned in life, and the crypto is just such a prime space for that kind of stuff to thrive. I'm not saying that's all bad, but this just, right now it's pretty ridiculous. It's pretty ridiculous. Everything that's happened over the last 2 years with so much liquidity being extracted, big exchanges, pulling the rug on the whole market, and just so many crazy things that have been going on, and so many things that we've seen, and we kind of just have to brush it off as, hey, just another day in crypto, because we're investing in the things that are positive. At least I hope that you are. I am. I'm investing in projects that I think are positive, that I think are gonna, that can change things, whether they, make it or not. And I think that you can make it, and I can make it, because there's still, so many opportunities in crypto, especially in altcoins and meme coins, even in meme coins, right? To make yourself, a brighter future, right, for you. So, I think my recommendation, or just my advice, this is not financial advice, but this is just more personal advice, is just to hang in there, touch grass on the big red days, go out, enjoy your family. Obviously, if you're over invested, there's no way around it at this point. I mean, it's a mistake, I think, if you're investing more than what you can invest. That's definitely an issue, and I don't know what to say. It's like one of those mistakes that you need to learn from. I've done it in the past. At this point, I'm okay. No, my projects, I feel like they're solid, and yeah, they've retraced quite a bit. But I've also was fortunate enough to enter at really good levels, to where this pullback, and even if it goes further, I'm gonna be fine, right? And I'm willing to wait. So bottom line here is be patient. Huddle with your community. If your community is on Telegram or on X, hang out with those folks, be supportive. This is a rough time that all these projects are going. Again, my heart goes to a lot of the builders that are just seeing all their work, collapse in terms of the chart. But know that all the work that you're doing, will pay off eventually. I truly believe that. That's why a lot of us are still here, and a lot of us are probably DCAting, and also, purchasing during, times like this right now. So hang in there, continue to build, continue to do what you're doing. If you're just an investor, or not just an investor, if you're an investor, kind of like I am, continue to do your thing, right? If your picks are solid, and your conviction is strong, then you should be good, right? It's just part of the market. We're going to go through maybe a little bit more of this or more, nobody knows, but crypto's not going anywhere. Like I can definitely guarantee that crypto is not going to go anywhere. It's not going to disappear. I know some people are out there, saying even that Bitcoin conspiracies about Epstein and the, I shouldn't even say that word, 'cause probably get flagged on YouTube or by the FBI. But, even that stuff, it's just insane of the level of FUD that's out there. But you know what? Like I said, turn away from it, enjoy the outdoors, do something productive, or look for opportunities that are still out there, especially on the base chain. So anyway, just that's it, guys. That's the stream for today. Just wanted to come in here, nothing too scripted, or nothing scripted actually, just off the top of my head, just some thoughts that I had, and just wanted to check out some charts and stuff with you guys. And I want to wrap it up by saying thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching eventually at your own leisure. I appreciate your like, subscribe, and your comments. Definitely appreciate those. And don't forget that there's a live giveaway going. The winner will be announced on Saturday, and that's 30 in crypto for a lucky subscriber on YouTube. And you have to comment on the short, and one of the shorts that I've posted. It's on my timeline on X as well. If you want to look for it, just comment and add the hashtag that I ask in the video, and then also make sure that your subscription is visible, because otherwise I won't be able to see it in terms of my subscribers. Then I don't know if you're subscribed or not. It's a thing that we have to overcome. But anyway, just wanted to say that. Hopefully you had a great day. Hopefully this is a stream that you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you very soon, guys. I hope you have a good one, and keep an eye out for new videos pretty soon. Talk to you soon.